Hello, everybody. Let's see here. There we go. So, hello. We've got a lot to talk about today. There's craziness and fun things found, fun things assembled, and there's a project I want to move from one mock to another. Well, there's elements I want to switch over. So, hopefully, we'll get a successful mock in by the end of the day. We'll see. If not, it's all whatever it is. Okay, so let's start with Looney Tunes. Target got these a couple days early, and I was able to suss out these figures. Beware, Sylvester is a little deceptive. If you're not 100% paying attention, you might think he's, Daffy or Bugs or somebody else I didn't get, which are Daffy, Bugs, and Tweety. Those are the only three. I do have a Roadrunner. He's over there with Wily. I did make sure to get 2 Wilys just because it's Wile E. Coyote. He's got kind of a short life expectancy, so I had to compensate for that. But Tasmanian Devil is especially cool. Has a slide on the bottom there, so you can spin them and whatnot, but makes them extra tough to kind of keep in line. But I mean, that's appropriate to the character, right? But as you can see there, Speedy's got 4 cheese slopes with him. And Petunia has a complete tea set. Hey, Brickanista, how's it going? Yeah, Wiley and the Roadrunner, they've been up to their hijinks. We're gonna take a look at that in a second because I have another one I want to do. Actually, I got another couple I want to try and do. But I'm kind of hoping to get some suggestions on how to make something work here. It's just we'll get to that in a second though. I'm just showing off the other ones here. Now Lola Bunny is especially cool. I mean, at first I thought she was like the one that I didn't really need, but you can really, when you're squeezing bags, you can find that voodoo ball. Yeah, it's a voodoo ball, orange voodoo ball. And you can check out, that's really easy to figure out what it is when you're squeezing a bag. So Lola is an easy one to figure out. Porky is too. You just have to look for, or you have to feel for the ears and no pigtails. If you find pigtails, of course you got Petunia. Pretty much the same head shape on those two. There we go. And Marvin the Martian, you're going to want to, you can feel the gun or you can feel the brush on top. But Marvin's one of the ones that have a bag inside of a bag. So he's in a clear poly bag inside of that. I think the Roadrunner was as well. But yeah, Sylvester is extremely deceptive, mostly because of that baseball bat. You think you got the baseball bat, you think it might be just a stick. Because you're only feeling a little bit, and maybe you feel the handle, and you're like, oh well, yeah, cool. That's going to be Daffy's sign because I don't feel the Porky Pig head in there. So it's deceptive. Just be on the lookout for that. Yes, Porky Pig is especially cool. Well, he's got the sign. I wish Bugs would have come with a duck season sign, but I'm very confident that there's going to be a series 2. Here's the idea for my next Roadrunner Coyote setup. Of course, you have to have the classic big magnet, right? But in the cartoons, what usually happens is Wily feeds the Roadrunner ball bearings that are painted to look like birdseed, and then he tries to, So how do you make that how do you get ball bearings across being painted? I mean, I've got the painting the birdseed part down. I know how I'm going to do that, but how to without doctoring the photo, how do you tell somebody that there are ball bearings in that Acme case? So that's what I have right now. Yeah, purple ice cream. I thought about purple ice cream. I also thought about taking an image and doing a little photo work to it and trying to get it say line up the photo just right and get it to say ball bearings around the Acme on the box. Of course, the Acme on the box. These are huge letters. Huge letters. So it would be like ball and then bearings beneath that. But I kind of like how plain and this is. It works. It works. I thought about doing it with a gray box, but then the Acme wouldn't stand out right because I have a gray lid that I could use on there too. And if you put a black lid on there, it's, you know, so I mean, the brown with the it works for me. But yeah, I'm just trying to use the same bushes and yeah. I was thinking about using Photoshop or the primitive version of it, which I have access to. So yeah, probably gonna do something like that. But I wanted to get these out like every day. So this is probably going to be one that's going to come out tomorrow. So there might be a gap here. But I did not get my hands on Bugs, and I didn't get my hands on Daffy, which were the two that I really needed to get. I mean, besides these guys, because Daffy is my all-time favorite. Like Daffy's got it all. I've modeled most of my young life off Daffy, and well, the results speak for themselves. But yeah, Bugs. I wanted to get a couple Bugs because I want to have the option. I don't want to do this, but I have a sneaking suspicion that like some of my favorite Looney Tunes characters or incarnations of the characters aren't going to show up. And for Wile E. Coyote, one of them is like he gets from Acme. He orders this bat suit, and it's like this green bat suit. And when he puts it on, it's got like a like his ears are gone because it's just like this tight green cap. So I'm hoping that if they do a series 2 that they come out with that. But other than that, I've got 2 Wiley just for the if I do need to take the ears off. I don't want to do that. But we definitely need a volume 2 because we need a Daffy in the Duck Dodgers outfit as well as a Porky Pig as a sidekick. So hopefully we're gonna see that stuff. Yeah, definitely need another Bugs to do the drag thing, but I mean Lola kind of helps with that a little bit. I mean, if you wanted to go down that route, and I mean with Bugs, there's so many classic things you can do, and there's even the classic Bugs Wile confrontation where Wile E. Coyote walks up to Bugs Bunny's hole, unfolds this door, and then knocks on the door, and then Bugs like takes the elevator up the hole and then answers, and like that would be a great one to play out, but I don't have a Bugs. However, as of 12 a.m., here's a little Lego news. The classic Batmobile is now available as well as Looney Tunes figures to purchase. Even wanted to get the classic Batcave. So yeah. So I'm happy about that. Plus, like you order $35 or more right now, you get a free Friends Pit or Dots picture frame. It's a poly bag. And you've probably seen it before. It's like $4.99 is the standard price, but it's some good pieces. You got some nice dark blue plates in there and stuff. So definitely want to get a hold of. And I think you get the flame yellow, like the bright light orange blocks in there. So you get bricks. It's good. It's a good thing to have. Anyway, so that's available right now, and you can go ahead and get those. And like I say, I'm missing 3 figures, but I didn't want to spend too much because I'm also trying to, I want to get something for the May 4th deal, and then the overall saving goal of the rumored Daily Planet. So I just need to make sure that when the time comes, I have that. But yeah, so anyway, I've ordered 2 figures. Hopefully it's got what we need in there. If not, I'll know just from feeling the bag. So if they're duplicates of what I already have, probably won't even open. Yes, R2-D2. R2-D2 is, I think I actually have 2 R2-D2s crammed into the Millennium Falcon right now. Like there's a lot of crazy wild stuff going on inside the Falcon. I found out, well, I don't even know if I'm at the limit yet, but I've got like 25 figures crammed into the back of the Millennium Falcon. It's awesome right now. Like, and this is the latest release of it for episode 9. Which is a great film. So yeah. But the large buildable R2-D2, I don't know. I've got my issues with it. And I mean, it's not to say it's a great set. It's a fantastic set, but it has a lightsaber that pops out of the top. Cool. but way out of scale. I mean, way out of scale. They should have done it in 2x2s and tried to figure it out at least from there. But like it's one module wide, and that's not kosher. Also, I thought they could have done. I don't know. Like I'm not designing the thing, but there's got to be a better way to do the head. It looks pretty segmented to me, and that was one of my problems with BB-8. Because BB-8 is just, a smooth ball, and representing him with, studs out as a sphere. Yeah, that's cool and it works, but I don't know, aesthetically, it's something that's just not quite there for me, But I mean, you could get the R2D2 and just rearrange things inside and put a proper saber in there. It's possible, I'm sure. It's Lego. You can do anything with it, right? So yeah, couple things other here I want to talk about. Also, when I was getting the Looney Tunes figures at Target, I found the German Shepherd. It was a very happy-go-lucky little puppy. And then I busted it open, and I tried to build it straight off of the picture of it without opening the instructions to see how close I could get. I missed like one or two things, so. But it's a fun little build. I mean, I love how shaggy the back legs look. That's just great. And plus, if you need them, it's got two of the rounded plate in brown there. The lovely rounded plate. Doesn't have it. Well, it's got four of them actually. But other than that, no real remarkable pieces. I mean, it's got some of the 1x2 underslopes in brown, which is reddish brown. So that's a good thing to have. I don't know. I dig it. He's got a lot of personality and character. He's just so cool. Yeah. All right. So there's a German Shepherd. There's the stuff I got from Target, the Looney Tunes. And here's an eBay thing. Now, I don't do eBay usually anymore. I used to do eBay a lot. I used to sell a lot of like stuff on eBay. I cleared out a lot of my old junk. My junk, somebody else's treasure. But like a ton of Star Wars Power of the Force figures, a ton of there's a Toy Biz Marvel action figures from late 90s, early 2000s, and some other things there. But rarely do I, purchase something on eBay just because I like to find a better deal. And if it's Lego, I like to go to Bricklink if I can. But there was this thing on Bricklink. Well, this thing on Bricklink. There was this thing. There was this set. It was a Creator 3-in-1. The blue power chair, right? So I go and I have it in a cart in a store, and it was just kind of languishing there, because it was like a $80 set, and I was like, well, maybe someday if everything else is off my plate, I'll go ahead and pull the trigger on it, right? Well, thing was gone, right? You needed to expand this because you need to address an issue in a store. So then I went to the thing, and it was sold out of the power jet. I'm like, well, yeah, that sucks. I wonder what eBay's got. So I popped over to eBay and was going through everything. And I mean, the standard price for this thing when it was new, the MSRP, I'll just show it right now because I got it. Yeah. The MSRP for this jet was $59.99, I believe. Creator 3-in-1, a lot of good pieces. Just a beautiful thing altogether. But like I had different conflicting things like telling me not to get it. Like, you're not going to have the space for it. And honestly, I don't have the space for it. But it's a jet, and you can hang it from the ceiling if you need to, right? Plus, this thing's never coming apart. I mean, it's so freaking cool. And I'm going to talk more about that in a second. But the story behind the thing, go to eBay, and there's listings that are going for $125 and up, pretty much. And if you wanted it new, this thing was going to cost you probably, maybe $200, for new in box. So that was definitely not going to happen. Cool as this set is, and it's designed by Mike Psyche, who is one of my, like, this dude is awesome in Lego. So kind of had to get it. And so I was thinking, I'm just going to throw all the parts on a wish list on Bricklink, and then try and piece it together here and there over time. But I went to eBay, and going to eBay, somebody had it listed as an incomplete set with $30 buy it now and free shipping, right? And so I'm like, they got pictures on there, so I'm examining them as closely as I can trying to suss out what's in the bags, see if all the major parts that are going to be needed are here. And we're talking about those very large blue wedges, the dark blue wedges that you see there on the top and on the sides. So you got 6 of those all together. Plus a lot of other dark blue. And dark blue can be a little pricey to get on Bricklink if you're going after the individual elements, right? Plus the canopy. The canopy here is a pretty unique one. It's got a bar on the end that clips, so both ends will open, and it had 2. But looking at the pictures, I could only see 1 in there. However, I knew that I did have a backup if I needed it for that, so I was just like, you know what? Here we go. Let's do it, right? Because, I mean, it'd be an adventure, and if I failed, you know, that would be another adventure trying to get the rest of the stuff to put it together. 13 pieces. That's about what it was missing. 13 pieces. And we're talking from the initial steps. So it was missing 2 1x14 Technic bricks, 1 friction-free 2x2 double Technic pin brick. If that's, you know, bringing an image at all to your mind. And then there were a couple up brackets, 2 up brackets. There was a 4x4 in there, or 2x4. There was a 2x6, which I didn't have the correct color for, but that's hidden way in here. So that tan plate is never going to be seen by anybody. So we got that. And I had everything on hand. I even had the Technic bricks, but I had to break down my hidden side train to get at those, because I was like, well, of the things I need to sacrifice, because most of the city is supported by 1x14 Technic bricks, all series together. And I mean, otherwise, I would have had to structurally take the city apart, you know, the pins holding it up and whatnot. So I went and busted down my hidden side thing, and I'm going to get a couple more on Bricklink because they're not expensive. But I wanted to get this done because, and that was the beginning steps of building a thing, right? Like it seems like that's what happened to somebody that had this set. They got to step 3, stopped, put it aside, but they lost the initial stuff that they were working on, and the other thing that was missing was one of the canopies. But I had all that stuff on hand, and now we have the blue power jet, and like, what a wonderful serendipitous event that was, right? So I ended up getting this thing for half of what it was retail, and being nearly complete. And apologies to my Batwing, my custom Batwing. That's where the other canopy ended up coming from. But yes, the blue power jet is dope. Now, talking about the blue power jet, I'm going to bring it in here closer so we can take a good look at it. There are a lot of fun little things going on with this set. Of course, I got my sig fig in the cockpit there. He's got his headphones on. Okay, that's one thing that's unique about my sig fig, is that he's wearing the Monkey Kid headphones around his neck. But yeah, you can see he's got the little green heads-up display in here. You've got padded seat backs. You've got instrumentation panels around the side. Room enough for 2 minifigures to fit in there properly. And there's the sig fig. And yeah, he's got the Legoland t-shirt on and black pants. And he's just not doesn't really stand out in the crowd. But that's okay. All right, so yeah, you can see in here, and they even have like the panels for the co-pilot right there. So yeah, extra sweet and cool. But there's another couple functions on here as well. You have access to the engine, which is built up on the inside there, right? Super awesome. There's the engine side itself. You can see the exhaust and the tail wings, which of course do function. As well as, I mean, your tail wings, your vertical tail doesn't move, but you have flaps. You have functional flaps on the main wings, and how freaking cool is that, right? How freaking cool is that? So yeah, that's extra awesome. And the landing gear fold up. Now one of the hitches that I caught when I originally wanted to get this was that there were no panels to cover the landing gear. But you know, as I got older, and you know, your mind starts telling you how stupid you were back then, I was just like, dude, like, when are you gonna hang it? And are you gonna hang it tube side up? I mean, it is a saucy tube side. I will give it that. Like that's an excellent conglomeration of tubes. It looks nice. But yeah, if I'm going to hang it, it's probably going to be in the middle of a roll, right? Like inverted or mostly slightly inverted. So it wouldn't even matter. Plus, I mean, having those exposed and out like that would make it easier to hang. So there you go with that. But talking about the ailerons, yes. I mean, this like in the leading edge of the foil there is like spot on because it's got that nice gentle curve up. The technique that was used to put these wings together is reminiscent of what Remy did with what was it? It was like a Castlevania build that Remy did, and it was like for the brick build square challenge from Tricky Bricks, where like you could only use like nothing but curves. So the whole had to be bricks and plates and tiles and such. So yeah, figured out a way to move the arms and then to wedge in the plates to make those a hinge. And it was actually pretty dope, yo. So that's essentially what was done here. Like he wedged it in with two 1x4s, one on top, one on bottom, and then it just created this hinge that was at the perfect angle to make that so flush right there. Well, I mean, look at that. Those are essentially two stacks of wedges just put in there properly. So I mean, good times, excellent build. Plus the hybrid on this the source material for this plane. This is essentially an F-35. Okay, with the engine configuration, with where the engine is and how that's configured, and the intakes on top on that. But it does have a couple cues that it takes from the F-22 to keep it from being like a specific plane that would represent something that's in the air right now being flown by a military force. So LEGO wouldn't be able to produce it. So if you slam two of those together, I mean, it becomes slightly unrecognizable as the one, and harkens to the other. So I mean, the way the angles are here on the air intakes for the engine is straight up F-22 Raptor. Okay, so you got Raptor there, and you've got Raptor here in the vertical tail wings, which aren't exactly vertical, but everything else on here is F-35. So being a fan of the Ace Combat series and having flown the F-35 on too many missions, yeah, this thing was a must-have for me for so long. And then like I kept waiting for it to go on clearance. I was like, all right, if it goes on clearance, I'm going to snag it. And then it came down to like 2 boxes on the shelf, and then 1 box on the shelf. And I was like, are they going to replace it? They never restocked it, so I missed out first time around. But it all worked out in the end. So yeah, there's a blue power jet, and that's that portion of today's dealy-do. What to talk about next? Okay, so we're Brickanista and myself are doing the ReBreakfast challenge on Instagram. Get a set, make something else out of it, and then post your pictures on there. We take a look at them once a month, and then we do like a new set. So, and even if you put in something late, we'll check it out later. There was actually a late entry for the Cyber Drone that we got to look at the beginning of the next broadcast. But what the set is Captain America mech. That's what we're working on for this month. And May 16th is when we're going to be doing the review that Sunday on Brickanista channel. If you're on the East Coast, that is going to be 4 p.m. If you're on the West Coast, it's going to be at 1 p.m. So you want to get your entries in before that. But this is a great set. It's $10. Widely available. People are finding this thing in grocery stores right now. But yeah, so I rebricked it as a kind of a serpentine alien kind of a deal. I wanted to use all the mixel joints, and Cornado had just done something where he used all the mixel joints. That was the goal. And I was like, yeah, I was planning on doing that too. And then like 15 minutes after I saw his post, I started working on this. So it's like, yeah, it's time. It's time. And now it's come apart here at the base, and I can't get it back together. So I'm gonna set it aside. But it comes with a minifigure. It comes with Captain America. Pretty good Captain America. It's got the chin strap, removable helmet. Fish them out here. Comes with the shield, of course, and there are actually 3 shield elements total here. Yes, it's amazing how many people see this disc and think Starship Enterprise, which I should have, but I feel a little bit of shame about that. So they see the Starship Enterprise, you know, the Bane saucer area there, and you know, like the bridge on top. They also see turtle shells, which why didn't I see a turtle shell? Why am I only seeing this as a stand or like the concave object? I think when I see this, my mind wants to take away the decoration, the printing on the shield. But I don't know. We'll see where I go next. I think my next thing is going to be Bricanista. You see only pirate ships. I want to do a pirate ship too. Probably with the next build. We'll see what kind of pirate ship I can come up with. But this one, yeah, you've already laid the groundwork for an awesome pirate ship. So I won't tread on those trodden grounds. So yeah, so that's what we're working on right now for this month for the ReBreakfast on Instagram. Post it up there, hashtag ReBreakfast. We take a look at it on May 16th. I am trying to work on a Technic camera, some kind of like camera holder, camera stand, you know, something to work, you know, mainly. But something that, you know, I can angle up and down a little bit, and have a little bit of work with, but at the same time have it be ultra sturdy. And so if I eventually want to try and do stop motion, I have kind of a decent rig to start off with. Something that I can move incrementally here and there, you know, for shots, but, you know, overall is not going to move unless I wanted to. So this is going to need a lot more work because the balance on this is not right. And I mean, that's the thing with Technic, with me, is like, I'm not very well versed in Technic. I've only bought one Technic set, and it was like the blue stunt jet that just came out this year. But I've got, you know, Technic pieces that came with things. I get Technic pieces off Bricklink all the time when I can find lift arms cheap. Technic's fun, and when you do it right, it fits right into system, and it's pretty sturdy and solid. But Technic also has a risk of having a little bit of play with it, just because of the nature of the pin connections. So this is what I was, you know, working on, trying to do something like that. But with the way the weight is on this, it carries it far too high. So what I need to do is change the fulcrum point, you know, of where the axis is going to be on here. So that's going to have to be right here on the side of the phone, so that the weight isn't going to play into or you know, work against the bars and the forces and stuff that are gently keeping it in place. But yeah, so I ended up using tires on Technic bushings for the brace in there. For the front, I have a high friction Technic ball that's in there, which is different from the Voodoo ball. The Voodoo ball doesn't have as much friction. The Voodoo ball only has one Technic access on one side, but smooth on the other surfaces. Whereas the Technic friction ball, the axle hole goes completely through, and that's very high friction. It's something I picked up just recently, that like how high friction that is. And if you have multiple of them, I mean, the world is yours. So this is going to have to be rebuilt. I'm going to have to break this all down and reimagine it, put the, you know, the fulcrum right there in the center. It'll be able to tip back and forth easily, you know, with using one of the Technic gears as kind of a handle for it. That's the idea. That's the goal. And then also perhaps having it able to turn left and right a little bit. To do that, I'm going to have to break down a modded mock construction vehicle that I made. But I'm probably going to end up doing that. Even though, I mean, when things go wrong in my town, you need a crane. And that's the only crane I have on hand at the moment. I could probably fish it out of one of these. Oh, let's see. Just off stream. Yeah, so this was a crane that came with a... I think it was like a Capital City set, and it was a much smaller version, but essentially it had your worm gear box here for this boom. And what I did was I went huge with it. Like, it used to be like a sidecar version of it, but I went just to put the operator in front so they can drive like from that point there and move things around. Large engine area in the back. It does function up and down. Plus, you can release and retract your hook. And then I added a function here to where it'll twist around. And I mean, it does take a long time because that's kind of a large tooth gear on a worm. So hey, Aqua Mike, what's going on, yo? You've arrived just in time to see me use a crane very, very poorly. Which, I mean, I've never been licensed in such things, and there it just lost a piece. So it's definitely going on the chopping block. And why am I still cranking the thing around? I don't know. I'll set that there. We'll shove back in, and I just want to make sure that wherever the the little roll bars fell, I'm not going to roll over them or stick my foot off. So, I can't see where it went, so that's probably a good thing. Now, here's something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and I'm just running through this stuff like it's features. I mean, I don't even have like proper streaming thing set up so where I can go to like the next feature or anything like that. But here's another thing I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to talk about this for a while. Like Lego makes at home, everyday items, right? So Lego makes salt and pepper shakers. Yeah, Lego brand salt and pepper shakers. Like that. And yes, they stack on each other. Lego also makes ice cube trays, or at least they used to. I don't know if they still do. But that's a silicone ice cube tray. It would have the Lego logo on there. Don't know if you can get it quite. But like when you get up in there, it says Lego on it. So when you put some water in here, make some ice, it'll look like a plate essentially. Well, an extra thick plate, so it looks a little bit more Duplo-y. Anyway, so that's another item, and I'm just going to give you an intro here, and then I'm going to tell you what's wrong with each and every one of these, and then you got your Sippy Cup because this was on sale for 50% off. And I was like, you know what? I need to get over like a certain price threshold probably to get a gift with purchase. And so I threw the Sippy Cup on there. I was like, you know what? I'll rock a Sippy Cup for Apocalypseburg, yo. Lego Movie Tunes, awesome. So you can see what we got on there. Emmett and Lucy. And then the Warrior Unikitty. And Metal Beard's on there as well. Kind of hanging out underneath that sign. So, pretty cool looking cup. And I got it thinking, all right, time to hydrate from the Sippy Cup. Word. Like this, like if I want to keep, things 100% Lego, like if I want to be like a Lego purist and I'm going to be streaming, why not be, drinking from a Lego Sippy Cup? Hey, Matthew, what's going on? Hey. But there are inherent problems with each and every one of these products. And let me start off with the Sippy Cup because this is what I got in my hand. Do you hear that whistle? Well, that's the whistle at low tide. When you have liquid in here and it's gone through the straw, it makes a nice little seal. So when you start to drink from that straw, essentially you have a very loud whistle that can be heard throughout the house whenever you take a sip. And I tried this out for like a day. I could hear chuckles from down the hall every time I would take a drink from it. So that, I mean, it looks great. It's a wonderful thing. It's nothing I thought about saying something to Lego customer service, but then they would send me another one. And so then I'd have two whistles, so, but I mean, if sippy cups are your thing and you want to keep track of where your child is at all times, this is the item for you. All right. So that's the sippy cup. Next, we're going to talk about the ice cube tray. Okay, which I mean is a wonderful ice cube tray. It's silicone, so the ice breaks out there, no problem. It freezes up pretty fast, so it's got all that stuff going for it. But it has an inherent problem because it is, in fact, a silicone tray. Now, for longer, if you're a person who uses ice, you've always got your ice cube tray in the freezer, right? And I mean, there are a lot of other things in the freezer besides your ice cube tray, and those things kind of have an odor. And then there's other things in your freezer that over time will influence the smell of silicone, and it is extremely difficult to get that smell off of silicone. So after about 6 months to a year, you will be left with a very stinky piece of silicone that you don't feel comfortable putting water into to consume as ice at a later point in time. You just don't. So there's that. Plus, I think this was like $8.99 or $7.99, probably, maybe $6.99. Maybe it was only $5. I can't remember. It was a while ago. It seemed like a good thing at the time. I'll just say that. And I've been toying with the idea of just throwing it away, but I kind of had feel that I needed to tell people about my experiences with Lego at-home products, right? So now the salt and pepper shakers. They're actually the best performing of any of the products we're going to be looking at today because they do their function. You load them up with salt or pepper at the bottom through these rubber things, put that on there, and you're good to go. You've got a salt dispenser and a pepper dispenser. Now, typically when you get a salt and pepper dispenser from a store, the holes for the salt dispenser are going to be slightly larger than the ones for the pepper dispenser, just because that's how things work. However, you have identical holes on both here. And yeah, we're talking about life-size Lego products. Alexander, what's up? What's going on, yo? Yeah, this is we're at the quirky part of the, well, it's a quirky broadcast. I mean, who am I kidding? But we're at the ultra quirky part right now where I'm talking about Lego at-home items. So yeah, your salt and pepper shakers have the identical holes in them. So while the pepper rate, now I'm speaking from 40+ year experience as a person who dines and uses salt and pepper shakers. The pepper rate is consistent with most of the other shakers on the market. However, when you switch over to the salt shaker, you're working for days. I mean, you're not going to be able to season anything properly. It's so frustrating because I mean, we had to switch them out after a while just because I mean you can't be seasoning your food for 5 minutes because it's going to get cold. I mean, of course, what I could do is I could drill out because, you know, I'm a handy kind of person. I could drill out, you know, the holes a little bit larger and use it that way. But I was just like, you know what? Let's just not use them. Let's take them out of rotation. Let's put the classic salt and pepper shakers in there. We'll go with that. And so we did. All right. So now on the random train. Oh, and yes, for the folks who are arriving late, Matthew and Alexander, and just check these out. We got Lego Looney Tunes in the house. I found them, I think it was Friday and Saturday. I went to Target and got them. It was Friday night. I found most of the ones I wanted. I got too many Sylvesters because they were a little bit tough to distinguish from the other ones. I mean, Sylvester is the one. He's like the drone boy. Trying to figure out other things while the drone boy was in there, and you know, on your first time in, you're not going to be able, like, because you see the picture on the bag and it doesn't have all the characters. So you're trying your best to remember what everybody else has. And you don't want to be fishing out your phone and just like be one of those dudes. And as it is, like that Friday night when I went in there, I had a Target employee coming up to me and saying, "Are you one of those people that think you can figure out what's in the bag by feeling it?" So I replied, "No, ma'am. I know what's in the bags." And then I get 3 Sylvesters. So, I mean, you know, but I felt cool at the time. And anyway, that's what happens. Yeah, so it was very much a Target woman. Yeah. Yes, Matthew, get them, enjoy them, love them because they're awesome. And especially these two. I mean, these have given me endless joy ever since I picked these up. One little tip too, although if you're going to the Lego store, they'll probably suss out what's in each bag for you because they're cool like that. But Roadrunner comes in a little inner bag as well as, oh, who was it? Was it Speedy? I think it was, well, or maybe it's Marvin. I think it's Marvin. Marvin comes in another inner bag. Yeah. So yes, get your Lego minifigures as of today. They're live. They're everywhere. Marvin is super cool. All of them are super cool. Petunia is especially cool. She was again. I mean, even though I'm trying to gear my city more towards purchasing and picking up, especially through Bricklink, more female minifigures than male. Like I try and keep the ratio higher to try and, you know, make the balance more reflective of a real kind of environment. Because you don't, never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. But yeah, check out Petunia. She comes with 2 teacups. That shirt there is pretty, like it's plain, but it's plain enough that you can use it on anybody. It's got a nice red skirt piece and bloomers. She's got bloomers and, you know, little indications of the hoof on there. Plus, she looks especially happy. I mean, yes, please. I will take a cup of tea. Yeah, 70% men, 30% women is close to where like my city was hovering for a long time. But I've got it down to about 55, 45 right now, which took a lot of extra work, Bricklink time and orders. And I had a Pick It Brick order one time where I ordered just like the parts to make 26 more female characters for the city. So the population is probably at the point now where I just need to reduce the male population to make the ratio more correct. Anyway, we're working towards diversity and equality in Lego City always. Like that's our goal. We're always striving for that. Yes. Alexander, I have the exact same thing. I have a database of everybody who's in town, whether they're a minifigure, whether they're a built figure, and indicating sex, male, female, other, or unknown. You know, because there's more than just 2. So yeah, everybody in town is pretty much assigned things, and I got a picture of everybody too. So if I forget, like if I make a custom, like if I make say a Rachel Dratch minifigure, by taking a picture of that, I'll remember who was this person. Oh yeah, that's right, that's Dratch. I made a Dratch. Yeah. Also, so you can find them if you need them for mocks. That's mainly why I have the Opera House and the large building set up next to it the way I do. Actually, why I have most of my buildings set up the way they do. They're essentially minifigure displays, so I know where everybody is at one time. I have a large gathering going on in there or something, and that way I can cram in a lot of folks. Like there's almost 200. Well, there's with them all beneath it. There's over 200 figures in the Opera House alone. In the white building next door, we're probably talking closer, maybe to 250 or something like that. Plus, every vehicle is loaded up with people. Buildings over here on this side of town, or yeah. So I mean, you have to have a population. The Ninjago City Gardens back here came with what 22 figures initially, and then I was able to put all of my other Ninjago figures on there. So we're talking an additional 50 figures. So that alone is holding 70 figures. Roughly my city population, and then this is going to be counting doubles too. We're probably at around 1,249 initial figures, and then duplicates of quite a few. So we're talking probably another 60 or so. So we're definitely above 1,300 for our city population. And now with Looney Tunes and everything coming out, I mean, I don't know if we're going to crack 1,400 before the summer, but it's going to be definitely by the end of summer. We'll be there. And want to say I am very, very anxiously hoping and looking forward to a Looney Tunes Series 2. Because right now, well, DC minifigures, it just essentially ended. So that is the only IP licensed Lego minifigure set that came out that hadn't had a second series. So Simpsons had a second series, Disney's had a second series, Potter's had a second series. Pretty much any additional one that's come out, except for maybe the German footballers, but and the Olympics ones. But those are special cases. In general, they're going to go for a second series, and there's enough possibility with these figures to maybe even go for a third series if they wanted to. But I'm hoping and expecting for a second. 1338 is pretty robust. Let me tell you what. And you know the main thing is finding a place to put everybody. I mean that's the tough part, right? I mean they're just everywhere. They're everywhere. I got them wandering around the space areas and stuff, so they're everywhere. But if getting into mocks now, so if you tuned in last week, you saw me putting this weird thing together. I was trying to figure out some kind of spaceship, and of course, from what you're seeing right now, it doesn't look like a spaceship. Not very spaceship. It's, I mean, maybe more Borg cubish, with a North Pole twist is what I call this right now. Just looking at it from the outside. But what we were doing last week is we were trying to get these large pieces ranged to where it would look proper looking in from the top to reflect, you know, an interior space for a large going vehicle. One day, a full tour of the room. I've got a couple videos on there where I showed some earlier stuff, but yeah, it's all been updated, Matthew. So I definitely need to do a new tour of the room. Plus, I want to do a video where I'm showing like all the mocks I've built in the last year, because like it's a lot. It's a lot. Like it kind of needs to be done, because just for me to realize and come to terms with all the stuff I've done. But I'm gonna show you here. Make sure it doesn't tip. There. Of course, right? So we'll take the ship out. You see the ship was in there. You know, for weeks, it's, you know, it feels like weeks. For a week, it's been back here behaving itself, not tipping, you know, sitting up at a funky odd angle. It's actually very much not a no-no situation, because what you see here, because yeah, shooting the pictures, I just, you know, hovered over this thing on the table and shot down into it. But yeah, there you can see it with the ship removed, because otherwise you wouldn't even really see the doors that are back there that I made. So yeah, we got some bay doors to get the ship in and out of. The platform that the ship was resting on, kind of uncomfortably, was the little train track offshoot that came with the hidden side train set. So that sets come up a couple times today. And then you can see I used the video earphone bits that came with beat boxes. I used those to look like little, you know, portals that you could go through for the rest of the ship. And of course, the main one there that you see, the one with large red around it, in my mind, that's like her main living, sleeping quarters. And then the other ones are just accesses to other parts of the ship, maybe maintenance rooms or mess hall or, you know, other things. And like, I didn't go into it, but who knows how big the ship is? I mean, is it only her on there? Are there other crew members? Who knows? So just putting those on there and kind of leaving that the rest of the ship go really helped me push my imagination to say, yeah, there could be all kinds. Who knows how big this ship is? Honestly, this could just be like the tip of the iceberg. So yeah, that's essentially what I did. And then kept the palette pretty limited here, so it's just white, red, and the trans blue for the windows and such. Yeah, like a submarine. I love those that style of handle too. Yeah, so I was really jazzed to do that. And the door opens in here, the cargo bay door, which I'll do, but you can see that that's where the building ends. There's a little glimpse behind the curtain, as it were, Oz style. Yeah, so that's where the building ends. Like I put the yellow accents around it to show that you know, it's a little bit more, you know, polished than you might normally see. But then I mean, it all gets lost when you open the doors. But yeah, just all of that on a white base plate. And thankfully, I've shown you folks now. Because I said at the end of the last time, well, we'll see where it ends up. Next week, I'll show you what happens to this. And I mean, there's a whole lot of reworking, and it actually came together about an hour after I ended the stream last week. Probably mostly because I wasn't talking while I was trying to build, and then like my mind was not as occupied with other things, and it actually worked and functioned good. So there's that, and I think it turned out pretty good. So next, right? Oh, plus the Space Scarab. If you haven't seen the Scarab. Little ship that goes in there, a little docking lock on there as well. But yeah, so it's essentially, and I'll take this apart here so you can see, 2 King Matthias torsos from large buildable Knights Kingdom figures, Knights Kingdom 2, I think. So yeah, and I mean underneath it, there's like a little switch where one of the arms does a bashing motion, and it's one of them is kind of locked into place, and the other one's a little free. So you can see here on the side, maybe, well, you can't really see if there's no point of reference. So, honestly. All right, so you can see here. Maybe that's too heavy on it. Okay, well, anyway, somehow it works. It's supposed to work. Anyway, so there it is. But yeah, it's a special, spicy little ship that I kind of like. Yeah, Space Engineers. Yeah, I mean it reminds me of Cowboy Bebop a little bit, because Spike had the swordfish too, but Faye had her own little pod thing, right? And it had the two large cannons that were coming off the wings, but it had like hers was a little different than this because it was like one wing, and then there was a bubble pod beneath that, and then it was supported like. I'm not going to go all the way into it. There are people look up Cowboy Bebop builds. There are people who have done pretty good Lego builds of it, so that I feel like I don't need to tread on that territory because they've already done the best. But yeah, so this thing folds up, fits inside the ship. But the ship is about to get torn down, and we'll all witness it together. Plus, I'm going to hydrate again because, yeah, hydrating. Something else I'm trying to work on too. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop is where it's at for sure. And I got the Lego calendar a while ago, the one where it's the 4 cubes and you turn it around. Brick and Issa's got the same one. And you can see it behind her in all of her broadcasts. But I've got a ton of dots and I got a ton of video tiles. So I'm trying to throw them on here, and I'm trying to make more decorated numbers, plus put my tiles in the printed tiles in the spot where they're not going to get too scratched up. Plus, they'll be out of my hair and not stuck to a base plate that I could use for something else. So yeah, that's kind of the goal there. 4 turned out especially well, I think. I'm going to start modeling all the contrasting elements off of what I got kind of going on here for 4. So 5 needs a bit of work, but 5, I'm going to go around and replace the feathers on there with these kind of lemon yellow wedges, pie pieces, quarter circles. And work on that. And there's 2, not so bad. I'm trying to figure out like what I'm looking at here for the camera. Is it a 3 or is it E or is it what's going on? 8 is especially bad right now. 8 needs a lot of work. So this is a little side project I'm doing while I'm watching movies and stuff in the background, and just butter yellow. I like that, butter yellow. Yeah. So that's another little side thing I'm doing. But I was working this last week because I was trying to. I just hit 300 Instagram followers, so yay. But I was trying to figure out like something special to do, like a special build for that, right? And I've always, I love Trainspotting, the movie Trainspotting. I'm a big fan. Let me see here. Now, if I would have planned this earlier, I would have had these handy. But yeah, Trainspotting. So first Trainspotting movie. Wild. It's wild. Like the first couple times you're trying to figure out what they're saying, and then after that is just a joy. Just because the Scottish brogue is a little bit. It's tough if it's the first time you're hearing it, right? So when I first saw that when I was younger, I was like, what's going on? Like, but it was so fun and exciting and wild and extreme, and at the same time, just absolutely horrible and disgusting and gross. And like there's so many different ways you'll feel when you're watching the movie. So yeah, I'm a fan. And yeah. So I want to do a build for it. There's a scene in there where Renton, if you're not familiar with it, and we're going to be talking about an adult topic here, Renton is a heroin addict. So at one point he takes a shot after having been off of it for a while, and he ODs. And in that scene when he ODs, he sinks into the floor, like the carpet just sinks into the floor around him. And so I wanted to do that in a mock. Yeah. So I'm sorry for taking this a little R-rated, but that's. I mean, it's not going to be R-rated. but like it's going to be a mock from an R-rated movie. And addiction is, you know, a topic that, I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing, and it's a serious thing. And I mean, I have cigarettes, which it's a bad habit. Don't get into it because it's addicting. And once you're addicted to something, it's tough to not do it anymore, even though you know that it's ruining your life. It's ruining your health. It's ruining your, you know, it's not what you started off doing as a human being in life. And then you pick up this habit later and it's not good. So whether it's cigarettes or something harder, or, you know, alcoholism, like everything is unique and different in its addictive qualities. That being said, somehow my mind took the leap of going from heroin addiction to Lego addiction. And so I thought about, you know, the rush that I felt when, you know, I found out I had 300 subscribers. I was like, oh, that's Ginchy as hell. That's awesome. So I wanted to make a thing that would represent that. So I was like, all right, I'll have like a couple of those, like the Party Boy from, I think it was Series 18, came with little tiles that were minifigure bags, right? So I was thinking about having a couple of those minifigure bags around here and then have my sig fig sinking into the carpet, you know, as, you know, I shot like a 2-second video or something like that. So, you know, that's where my mind goes. And plus Lou Reed's Perfect Day is playing while he's sinking into the carpet. So, I mean, how awesome is that for such a horrible thing in a film? Also, speaking of films, congratulations to all the winners last night in the Oscars. I also won at the Oscars. I won the Oscar pool. Just a humble little brag there. But yeah, so what I want to do today is work on the mechanism to make this piece of the floor sink into the carpet. And what I'm having an issue here with is it's brick and plate built around the side, and trying to sink something into that, it's going to get caught up. If anybody has the what is it, the haunted house fairground ride that they did that came out last year, Brickanista was talking about rebuilding hers into a museum. But that has like that drop, and you know, it's a chain driven drop, but the car for that has to go up this entire brick built structure. And by the time it gets to the top, you've caught up on a couple things going up there, just because Lego isn't exactly always flush, you know, at the edges. Like putting a brick on a plate, you're gonna have a little bit of a, you can feel it, that little rough part there, which is what we all kind of grab onto when we're separating something with our fingernails or building. So that's what's hanging this up. So what I want to do here is go through. I see I got a lag there, but hopefully I'm good. So I want to go through, rebuild the interior of this, and try and figure out a mechanism that will have a smooth transition up and down. Plus, it'll look red on the inside, like that carpet's dripping kind of into the floor. So that's what we're going to work on. And I need the red bits that I use for most of the structure in the space area here to do that. So that's what I'm going to try and work on for this last hour here of the show, because I ramble on for an hour and then I try to build something for an hour and probably don't do either one successfully. But what else am I going to do with my day, right? So here we go. Excuse me. What parts am I missing? What parts for which thing? For the Trainspotting build, or for the spaceship, or for the blue power jet? Because I was missing like 12 pieces for that, but I had them on hand. But what I need to do here is just make, like, I need a long stretch of vertically placed plastic that isn't going to hang up on another plate that's going down it. Oh, red parts. I've got the red parts. They're just in this space build, but you got to take apart to get at. Because I used all of my door frames. That's what we're going to be after here. Door frames. And I'm gonna move things around here in a second. Figure out good build space and camera angle to view it at. All right, so come down here. All right, and I'm out of frame, but that's okay because yeah, that's just fine. All right. Yeah, red door frames are my thing. Those were pretty easy to get cheap, and so I bulked up on a ton of them early on in my Bricklink days. And they were the red facade, or the facade for the red building in my town for a long time. However, I went fully enclosed on the windows for that. Okay. So what we're going to want to do here, see if I can bring this back up. First of all, the mechanism in here is touchy. I'll pop this off so you can see. So yeah, essentially the shuttle here is just tiles down the sides to try and keep it as smooth as it could be to go down. But what we're trying to do here is replace it with these so that when we do that, we're not catching up anywhere on the side. And like I say, I'm not a technic expert or anything, and this is all just me desperately trying to get something to work right. So let me see here. So, and you're probably not going to see this too well. But I had a free floating lift arm plate, a pair of them in there, that ran up and down from worm gear attached to a lift arm with some gears on it, and that shuttle it up and down, which functions essentially all right. Not the greatest solution probably for this, and if you have any suggestions, throw them out there, please. But what happens is it goes down into the guts here, and you can see we got the plates just right there on the, or the bricks right there on the side. That a couple of them catch on, a couple of them run free, so I couldn't find a good way to put them in to make that so it didn't hang up. So what we're doing now is trying to rebuild that. And I'm going to try and keep this top part intact here because the spacing on it is correct. The proportions are accurate here. And yeah, so we should be good with that. And then the shuttle we're pretty much going to keep the same because you can't really see anything from the sides if this thing is working properly. So we're taking this down here. And I had it locked in with plates there to keep the whole thing from bouncing and burping, but we're going to peel back past even that. You know what? Maybe I should have filled up the Apocalypse Bird Sippy Cup. Maybe it was a good idea. Okay, so I'm probably not going to rely so much on needing everything locked in to keep it straight. So I'm just going straight down into the mechanism here. I'm going to re-examine this thing from the ground up. Plus, I have all my build stuff down beneath this table, so should be good there. All right, so yeah, essentially what this does, raises up, lowers down. There. You can see it's on the worm gear, back underneath. There. And this is another thing I found in somebody's Bricklink store for like pennies. So I got a couple of those. All right, and then the shuttle where it attaches here, because this is centered, and this little bit underneath here has the, you see the hollow studs. I was able to offset it just by using two 1x2s underneath that have that little bar hole there, or essentially like a piece of a bar. So that would, the diameter of a bar. So it'll sit right here on top of that, centered, and be able to move up and down. Yeah. So when that's working proper, it's actually decently functional. So we're going to keep the mechanism intact. We're going to move on to having these for the sides. First thing we're going to have to, hey, Christopher, what's going on? Glad you can make it. We are working on trying to figure out a Technic build and making it smoother right now. But we were talking about Looney Tunes earlier because we got some Looney Tunes figures in the house. To that end, I'm just gonna set Taz right there for now. Maybe he'll give me some inspiration. Maybe he'll just funk up the whole table. Who knows? It's a Tasmanian Devil. Okay, just that there. So here on the other side. And we're going to use snot bricks, if I have enough snot bricks. The pieces start shuffling, folks. See, we should have enough. This isn't going to be a permanent state MOCK either, so it's not going to really matter the colors or the pieces that I'm using that are going to be hidden inside, because they're all going to be returned after the thing's properly photographed and whatnot. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take that and do the 1x4s here on the side, and the 2s. And we'll see if this works. Hopefully this is going to work all right. Hopefully I'm going to have enough pieces. No worries, Brickanista. I'm going to be here trying to suss out this thing. And if this is too boring for you, please let me know in the chat. I could try and switch gears, but I'm going to see exactly what we need to do here. And that's not going to work. So that's going to leave us, you see that gap there. This has got to be flush right up against that. So how far off is that going to be? It's probably a good plate's worth of distance. All right, so let's see what we got for plates that are handy. Grab this. Bring that in just in case we need it. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe if I get another plate's distance in there, it'll line up properly. We're going to find out. Because even though I know Lego math, it's one of those things where I have to work out the equation every time. I can't just remember the stuff at the top of my head, which explains a lot of my school years. And yes, one more plate did it. One more plate got us flush there. So I'm just going to take a series of these. And we're probably going to actually have to lift that up a little bit. But I just want to see how it sits. Going to have those 4 on that side. Yeah, and so that's going to give us a nice lined up bit there. But I'm going to need to lift it. Probably a brick or 2. Brick drawer. This is the state of the brick drawer this week. This is all I got to work with. Okay. And there. And of course, with the brick drawer, it's an ebb and flow. Sometimes we have more stuff in for it. sometimes we don't. Oh, and yeah, now you get to see the rubbish bin there in the background. All right. Let's see how this works. Essentially, well, I mean, I can't really drop this down too much. With that, so we'll see where we're at with one brick up. I mean, I'm probably going to have to end up lifting it a little bit further than that, even. Mechanism. All right, looks like one more brick in height. I can do this. We can do this. We got this. I know where the brick's going to come from. Not to mention you're going to have to grab more of those, but we'll take it from the top here. Just brown there. Six, and then there, and that. And like I say, the side build or the inside colors that I'm using here aren't going to be important at all. So I'm just kind of piling it in there, old school style, like a kid on a rug with a classic set. All right. Reverse that. And more destruction over here to our right. This is actually our left. Sorry. Stage right. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There. 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 Okay, and the platform is going to be 6x4 that's going up and down here. So, all right, that's going to be where it's going to rest at low tide. So we're probably going to have to go up another brick. Oh, we're really going to have to go up another brick. All right. Thankfully, I've got brick. Okay. I'll respond to that in a moment. Okay. All right. All righty. 3 there. 4 2. We've got 45 minutes. Will this thing be functional at the end of 45 minutes? Because my neighbor has just invited me to go throw some things away in her freshly purchased dumpster. So we're going to see how we go. And yes, I would like to throw something. Oh, that's right. I didn't put the plate in on this side. Okay. Now it's making sense as to why it's not making sense. And I hope I'm still, you can still hear me okay from this angle. Let me know. Let me know how the microphone's coming through. Let me know if I need to adjust, if we need to change the camera angle or anything like that. Your input is greatly appreciated. All right, now. There. Okay. So now what I need to do is essentially replicate what I've done there on the top or on the sides with the top and bottom ends of this, or the front and back, however you want to look at it. It shouldn't be so tough here because these Technic brackets I'm using, as you can see there, they have got studs on the top. Awesome. Thanks, Alexander. Appreciate it. And let's see. We're going to get some more here. All right, so there would be 4, or maybe I should do, you know what? Yeah, just to make sure. Just to make sure I got enough in case I want to do an offset or something like that. So, and of course, I don't know. That looks slightly more than a plate off to me. So I'm gonna have to figure out a solution here. And if you know me, you know I love figuring out solutions for things because how else am you gonna move? How else am you? How else are you gonna move forward? Plates. So I'm just not going to use those studs at all, essentially, is what the plan is here. I'm just going to hover this above it. Okay, so here's my solution. And I'm probably going to have to go around and lift everything else up a plate. Yep. But I think we're getting somewhere. Maybe. You know, I'm kind of thinking the teeth on here aren't especially great on these gears that I ended up picking up for this. I don't think they're top notch. So a couple of the teeth are probably worse for wear here. I'm also going to have to brace this in because this mechanism floated itself on out. But here, actually, I can give you a closer look now on the exact thing that's making this whole deal work. So yeah, that's running on a worm gear, and then, you know, as you twist the worm gear, it's running that up. Oh, I think I missed something in the chat. And it's probably run right past me on the TV here. Drat. Oh well. All right. 2x3s. Do I have? Got one. I got two. And it's a veritable rainbow inside here. And that's why that's going to cause me problems. Shucks howdy. All right. Let's see. We'll go with that. Have that set there. This is the way I have the bricks going off here on the side with the stuff that's inside there. It's on a totally different system because it's coming off that side brick. So I have to fix that somehow, some way, in a very short space. Very short space. Okay. Well, first things first, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate what I did here on the back end. So then I got that done, and that's built, and that's one less thing to worry about. Just going to go 6 wide there. Okay, that's set. And then this is going to be for one side, this is going to be for the next side. It's the shuttle. This is there. Bring this up a bit. I'm probably going to have to extend that mechanism too, since I got that draping over so far. All right, so we're going to try a headlight brick trick and see if this works. Let's see if this gives us enough space. Because I think the headlight bricks are going to be far enough down that we're not going to run into too much problem with them. Plus, if I do it right, they should offset things back into the system here. Yeah. Those red parts, yeah. Like I was telling Alexander earlier, like I got these for like 3 cents, 5 cents, maybe even less, way back in my early Bricklink days, and I just loaded up on them because yeah, that price was right. All right, so I got a headlight brick in there. I'm going to test and see if it lines me back up where I need to be height-wise, and I don't think it does. Verdict, it does not. All right. So maybe if I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to have to do here. This is going to be strange for sure. Okay. All right. Well, I'm now going to proceed as if I did something that actually worked. Because I can come back to that if I can figure it out. Okay. So there, that. And one of the toughest things about doing this build is getting this little shuttle into place just right. Because the more steep the sides are as you're building it, the more finicky this thing gets. And plus, like I said, like I showed earlier, it's not the greatest connection. I'll reiterate, not the greatest connection. Is that right? No, that's not right. This is going to have to come in close. Oh boy. Took a wrong turn at Albuquerque this week. Just trying to figure out where the right place to put these is. And this is proving to become especially difficult because I'm not sure what I did last time now. Oh, I know what I did last time. I just had a gap in there. Okay. Well, we're going to work with that. We're going to work with this gap. So that's going to only be 6 wide. Let's see what happens there. Is that plate interferes with that mechanism. So we're going to try a little bit different build here. The solution is not going to be that tough. We're just going to scoot this back one. We'll have left and right there. And then as you can see there, that's going to make that area for that to go down and not catch on anything. But now I have to figure out how to bring something back up against that. But we're going to get there in a second. I need 2 2x2 plates. Okay. And see, that's why I like having everything underneath this table. That way, if I need a piece, I don't have to go grab a lot of different things. I can just, I've got a bin that's got plates, and I've got a bin that's got this, and I got a bin that's got that. So there we go. Now we're on track. Two, three. Huh. All right. Now the test. Is it a smooth action? It is. How far up does it go? Perfect. I can get a plate around there. All right. So yeah, we're wow. We're getting it done, yo. All right, now I gotta remember what kind of plate action I got to work with here on the top to make sure that I don't screw it up. And yeah, I'm going to spare y'all my Scottish accent because I'm just it's yeah. Okay, boom. We're getting this tiled up here. We're getting this locked in. It's going well. And of course, as soon as he says it's going well, everything is open to destruction now because I invited it in. Yay. Everything seems to be going according to plan. And of course, sorry, that not Scottish accent. You'll know if it's a Scottish accent that I'm trying to use because it sounds like I'm trying to be Begbie from Trainspotting, so it's best that I just don't bust that out in public. If you've never seen Trainspotting, make sure you're the appropriate age and then see Trainspotting. It's great. You got Ian McGregor. You got a lot of cool actors in there. Okay. All right. And I still want to see if I can come up with a solution. Oh, that action is so smooth on that. Wow. Do 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 do. All right. So still want to see if I can come up with something up at the top there that's going to be yeah, it's not going to be bad. I mean, if you look at it from one angle, it's not going to be so bad. All right. You know, one of the things I really want from Lego, as far as element design, I want an inverted cheese slope. Inverted cheese slope with a hollow stud. Give me that. I'll be a happy camper. I don't even need the double reverse stud thing that so many A falls and T falls and K falls have dreamed of for years. Just give me an inverted cheese slope. I'll be happy, man. All right. So I'm out of dark tan flooring for now. Let's see if I can score some more. So we got to cover 4x8 space there. Just a perfect day. Problems all left alone. Weekenders on our own. It's such fun. All right. I'm going to be fudging this last little bit. And around here, around these parts, in the Don Brickles productions, we say fudging to represent another word that we can't really use here. because zhuzhing has been copyrighted by Tricky Birds. One more 2x4, and I'd have been there. We'd been good. Wait a minute. Auxiliary plates. Oh. I got some 2x6s. I got some 2x6s here. You know what? You know what? I can make this work. I think I can make this work. Nope, I can't make that work. What was I thinking? For this. Hopefully I got some 1x2s. Come on, 1x2s. Are you kidding me? I got the 1x2s. I mean, I got 1x2s. I just don't have them in the color I need. A 1x2 inverted half pyramid? Yes. Yes, 100% yes. I got one. I got one. Wow, this is... It'd be funny if it weren't so sad. All right. I got a 2x3. You know what? I had this tile here the whole time, darn it. I'm gonna just do these tiles. There we go. On which side I had the crank on. There we go. So now we have a floor that recedes smoothly into the floor. Goal accomplished. Dang, we still got roughly 30 minutes left. Huh. All right. And one of my favorite things when you rebuild Hooded One's here. What? I'm sorry, I have limited view of the chat here, and especially if like I had my head down in the in mock like I just did. Thanks, Breakinista. Thanks, Alexander. Yeah, I mean, if I got my head down in the mock like this and I'm not looking over at the PS4, it's only on there for maybe about 30 seconds before it disappears. So yeah, but yeah, one of my favorite things about building Lego MOCks is especially when you rebuild something, how much you have left over afterwards. Like every time you refine it, it just sorry, Hooded One, man. I was just like, I was just so in this just because I knew what I needed to do and what I wanted to do, kind of mostly. So I was a little bit focused. But yeah, so this is what we got left over. We got and if these were 1x14s, because I checked, they're 1x16s. If these are 1x14s, my whole weekend would have gone just a slight bit smoother than it did. But that's perfect. That's fine. I got these freed up for another project again. And again, like this is gonna be just a temporary thing until I like get a good photo or video set up for it, and do my little shout out to Trainspotting. All right, so yeah, there was that. Yeah, just using the auxiliary table there because it's like a TV tray, so it's got that little lip around the edge. So that's kind of my catch-all, and then I sort from that table. I'm starting to get a method down. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's see how this looks with a figure in it. Who would be an appropriate stand-in for someone with a substance abuse issue sinking into the floor? Let me see what I got. Iron Man will be sinking into the floor today, folks. All right. And go. Yeah. Yeah. Boom. All right, so now then the idea is going to be to decorate this around here, probably do some switching up with the figure, and then I've made one of my goals since last year is to make a little Trainspotting mock where Ritten drops into the floor. So, yay! Oh, such a good time. Yeah. So, how cool is that, right? I mean, it was a little bit of a fumbly build, but we got it to work. We got it to work correctly. I actually spent most of, I think, Saturday was working on that, and I was like, man, if I could only crack into this the space thing, but no, I got to show it. I got to show it on the thing because I want people to see like what actually went on here from point A to where my mind was to point B to what actually turned out. That's what I'm. That's one of my main goals with doing this channel, doing this station. Because a lot of things that, I mean, you got Lego people out there who will talk about sets. They'll show you mocks after they're done. I want to try and show you mocks in the middle of being done when it's really ugly, nothing looks right, things are going wrong left and right. You're still not 100% sure of what you want to do with it. It just the creative process. The creative process has always fascinated me ever since I was very young, and it's probably what led me down the path to be a painter. Which, I mean, for whatever that worked, right? But anyway, it's the process. The process is what gets you jazzed. Lego motorized spacecraft elevator. Yeah, that does sound awesome. A lot of this stuff, though, especially with the Technic, I kind of want to try and figure it out on my own because I know there are people who do it and do it right, like JK Brickworks. I mean, forget about it. Like that dude, like it's like everything that he touches comes out polished. So I like the experience of trying to figure it out, roughing things in and failing. I really like to fail because I know that a certain number of failures is going to lead to a success. So just keep failing and keep failing up because, I mean, it's the American way, right? Or something. But special shout out to Jetfire because he's in the frame right now, and I gotta call out my dude. One of my favorite Transformers of all time. I had to get him. I got him. He's lovely, and he's permanently in Gerwalk mode because he's awesome. Yes, failure is good. Failure is something that everybody needs to do. Like if you don't fail, or if you don't think you fail, there's some serious issues at hand there. But yeah, 1,000 times to make a light bulb. Dude, don't get me started on Edison right now because I got a whole diatribe I can go off on that cat. But yeah, essentially that's the thing. Like Gordon Gekko in Wall Street said, greed is good, failure is good. Fall on your butt a couple times. It's good. It's good for you. Humility is good for everybody. Plus, what am I picking up here? Headlight brick. All right. So yeah. Dang, that got done early. So I'll take a look at the cockpit here because that's the thing that's still intact in the ship. Because this is something you didn't really get to see from the picture that I did for the Tricky Bricks challenge, or the ones I put on Instagram. Which, like, I put that stuff on Instagram, and then 45 minutes later, I was like, all right, I'm gonna post this Wile E. Coyote stuff. So almost nobody saw the spacecraft. Which I mean, I'm cool with. I feel like I did a thing and it was a good thing, and whether or not anybody saw it, you know. But that is like the control station. That is the command part of the module here. You got she's got the figure came with a helmet and a blaster as well as a wig. So I wanted to have all that in the frame and at hand in case she needed to go out extravehicular, as it were. But yeah, she's got throttle controls there. She's got foot pedal controls, probably for yaw and whatnot. And it's all attached to the Technic seat. And if you know the Technic seat, you know there's no studs in there for a minifigure to to accept a minifigure. So essentially, she's being held in there by her foot and our hand braces. So, and then the that windscreen there, which is actually I'm using it as like a heads-up display, is something you'd see like in a larger ship. You know, that would be where you'd be getting your information from, that small screen. So that's how I got that set up there for her. That piece, that windshield, came from one of the early Lego sets. It was the Genosian sub for Star Wars. One of the early Lego sets, one of the early Lego Star Wars sets. It was like a Genosian sub. It came with 3 of those, I believe, which was from an early Bricklink order that I got because they were like 13 cents or something. So I was like, yeah, why not? It's a cool looking windshield piece. I'll figure out something. Initially, they were going to be for Doctor Strange's house back in the day when I had an idea to do that. But things improved. So Doctor Strange's place looks a little bit better than this. This would have made it. But yeah, so that's my favorite minifigure. They call her the Intergalactic Girl, or Interstellar Girl. I think it's Intergalactic, but I think a great name for her. And I you know, rather than calling her like the Intergalactic Girl, I'm going to call her Stella. Stellar, right? Stella. So that's Stella. Stella's got her little command set up there. Her space scarab is going to be permanent. Like I'm not going to break that down for anybody or anything. Even if it like were to drop, I would immediately recreate it because I really like it. And it just kind of came together just right. Because I got those torsos for, I was going to make like a Vic Viper, right? And, you know, like a fighter type thing. Like, Moto did like a Vicky Viper like this last year, which was pretty cool. And then I discovered, that like making Vic Vipers was a thing that people did. So I was like, yeah, I kind of want to get on that game. And then I saw what Max Braun did, like the one that he made, which had was it Fabuland or Belleville onion domes, like half onion domes, the dark pink ones, as these huge wing pieces. And it was so phenomenal and mind blowing that I kind of wanted to get on in that action too, or get in on that action. Yeah, that's the proper words. But yeah, so that's kind of why this thing came together, because I got the pieces to make something like that. And then I was like, you know what? This girl, she needs a way to get around and, you know, go planet side, because I don't think she's part of a crew. I think she's more of just like a lone bounty hunter type space person. That's how I picture it. So we'll see. But yeah, we still got a couple more minutes here. So if there's anything anybody missed earlier that they want to see, that you want to take a look at, just kind of a recap of the stuff we talked about earlier. Got the German Shepherd at Target, $4.99 poly bag, and they got this poly bag. And Brickanista, you should know this just because you've hit the target for the Legoland stuff. At the time the Target got this Legoland stuff, they also got in like all the new poly bags, just like a drove of them, just boom. The next rebrick challenge for our deal is the Captain America mech. It is Lego set. Let me read the number because my mind, nope. 76168. And there have been a lot of people who have done a lot of awesome things with it. And Brickanista and I were talking earlier about how like there's a large Turtle and Enterprise presence, or Starfleet presence rather, with this because of the shell, the shield, large right here, that for some reason my mind just didn't pick up on that. Like I should have seen shield, especially with some of the Christmas time Enterprises we've seen. I should have seen right away like saucer section, but my brain just didn't pick it up. Hey, Joel's here. What's going on, Joel? You're here just at the end of the thing. We just like, I was expecting this mock to take like at least the rest of the hour, but it didn't. The event ends May 16th. May 16th is when Brickanista and I are going to do the slideshow on her channel. So Brickanista on YouTube, check it out. And yeah, we're gonna go through and see everybody's stuff. And even if you get like somebody last time put it in like 5 minutes before the show started, but we, you know, because we're just going right from Instagram, it's not like we're setting up a slideshow in the first place earlier to go through and go through all that work. So we're just winging it and just looking at the hashtag on Instagram. So like you can submit your stuff like right up until the show's going, or maybe even like when the show is going. But yeah, go ahead and get one because it's $10. It's an awesome mech. And you know, with me and Lego, I like to get things less than full price if I can. But at the $10 price point and the value that's included in here, I have absolutely no problem giving over full price for this set. Especially because some of the elements that are in here are like I'm itching to use them in other places. So I'm going to try and knock out another rebrick or 2 or 3 with this, just because like people have been pretty prolific with this one. They've already had it on hand. They were just like sending things right out the door. Like I think the same day, like as soon as we ended the broadcast, people were posting pictures. So yeah, follow hashtag ReBreakfast on Instagram. You'll see everybody else's builds and be able to put your own up there, you know, posting with that same hashtag. So yeah, do it. Why not? Like we're giving you the excuse to get a pretty awesome set for $10. Maybe one that you might overlook normally because you might not be a Marvel person, you might not be a mech person. But you're a Lego person. I mean, that's why you're here, right? And this is an excuse to get a $10 Lego set. And any excuse I can find to purchase Lego, I latch right onto. Like my Looney Tunes. Like I had to get the Looney Tunes. And if you haven't gotten the Looney Tunes yet, they're out today. I got them a couple days earlier, but get down with it. Do it if you can. The 3-in-1 shark. Yeah, that the 3-in-1 shark is one of my favorites for sure. Shang-Chi sets. Yeah, I might get the dragon. I might get the dragon set. But like I say, I got to save up for the Daily Planet, right? Because there's a rumor that there's going to be a Daily Planet set coming out, and with the price point it being this little thing behind me here, it's starting to make me think that they're going to be going pretty well far into this little Spider-Verse with the Daily Bugle. Yeah, Daily Bugle not playing. I realized it just 2 seconds after I was like, dude, was I saying Daily Planet? Because I am really mashing up my worlds right now. Not to mention the fact that I did have a Daily Planet here for a little bit, but we'll not go into that. So Daily Bugle is what's on the way. Daily Planet is still just a pie in the sky dream. But the Bugle is going to have a new version of J. Jonah Jameson, I'm sure. Plus, there are rumored figures that at least 3 or 4, names have been dropped, and pictures have been allegedly seen. I'm just going to say allegedly. Just keep things on the slightly intangible front. And yeah, there is. I have seen a picture of a new 3-in-1 castle. So like in the same spirit of the 3-in-1 pirate ship that came out recently, which is like $100 set for a decent pirate ship that is a 3-in-1 creator set. They're doing the same with the castle. And if castle was your thing, castle it up. Plus, with something like that, yeah, everything is allegedly these days because the legal system exists. So as you get older and you realize you don't want to step on anybody's toes or make any missteps that could impact you in a negative way, you try and keep things ambiguous, especially because if you're going to be looking, say, down the line for land stuff, you kind of want to not get on the bad side of Lego legal. Yeah. Oh yeah, the new Minions brickheads. Yeah, I may have mentioned this at the beginning of the stream today, but I do have finally another Batmobile coming into my collection because the classic Batmobile came out today. So I ordered it last night, shortly after midnight. So that and 2 more minifigures because I'm missing 3 of the Looney Tunes, but I decided to get 2 because it took me over the price point. Plus, I'm rolling the dice here, right? Like the odds are not great that I'm going to get Bugs and Daffy or Bugs and Tweety or Tweety and Daffy in those 2 bags. It's probably going to be actually 2 more Sylvesters because that's more of my luck goes. But to get it above the price point, I went there. Plus, I do not feel bad giving Lego a lot of extra money for the Looney Tunes sets if it will help them understand that we need a series 2 and we need it soon. Yeah. So, yeah, Joel, I heard you had you had some of those some extra modulars on hand to be able to offload for the Daily Bugle. Doc Samson, you've been working. Yeah. Oh, good times. So yeah, we need more. Yeah, because if we're gonna have Tweety, we need Granny for the Looney Tunes stuff. We need alternate costumes for Duck Dodgers, and I want Wile E. Coyote in the bat suit. But that's like probably my personal preference. Probably not going to see that. Roadrunner is pretty much set as Roadrunner. Like you could do umpteen thousand Bugs Bunny costume changes, literally. All right, Doc, have fun at the post office, yo. Yeah, I'm only going to be doing this for a couple more minutes just because, yeah, things are going extremely well today here in the stream. But I kind of wanted, yeah, Foghorn Leghorn, and the Chicken Hawk. I can't remember what the dude's name was. Like, he had a name. He totally had a name. Yeah, so those are characters we really need to see. People are talking about Gossamer. You can brick build a Gossamer, I would think, pretty good if you got orange 45-degree slopes and the 2x2s, and some hollow studded bricks, or maybe some orange headlight bricks, because there's a couple sets that had those. And then you could just brick build the shoes and the legs, and I mean, it looked like a big furry beast. It'll work okay. So I don't see what the big griff is with that. Plus, I've seen people do like Roadrunner redos where they're disappointed about the fact that they're being a minifigure and it not looking right to their eyes. So they're doing some brick build stuff. But I think the Roadrunner looks perfect. I think it looks fantastic. I mean, it's not the cartoon version because it's a minifigure, so it's not going to look 100% like you see it in the cartoon. It's a minifigure, right? Just lighten up, folks. Yeah, Foghorn Leghorn as a big fig would be great, but no, it would actually be better if Foghorn Leghorn were like minifig scale, but then the little chicken hawk guy was like baby figure size, you know. So then it would be I say I think it'd look all right. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing everything that's going to come out this summer and later into the year, and then like which summer releases are going to be June releases, which summer releases are going to be August releases, and then which ones are going to be kind of digging into September there. So, September, wow, it's been a while, and that's going to be like BrickCon season, I think, coming up September, October. So yeah, like who knows what the world's got going for the rest of this year? It's going to be exciting to see. I hope everybody's getting vaccinated if you have the opportunity, if you have a chance. Like I say, it knocked me back for like a day or two afterwards, but then after that, things started moving smooth. So please go ahead and get that, just for the benefit of humankind. You know, just play well with others. That's what that is all about. BrickCon is the first weekend of October. All right, and then Brick Cascade, Joel, I think I heard the Brick Cascade kind of kicked it back, thinking that they're going to do a live convention. So if my understanding is correct on that, they're going to wait till they can do it like in person. So I don't know if they don't have the infrastructure to do it virtually, or if they just want to feel like the world's back to normal again. So we'll see what happens on that. Yeah, get your vax and get all your nano machines and stuff going on. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go into all that because I know somebody who seriously thinks that, and it's like, what? Like, why are you dissing me about reading comic books and stuff like that when, like, obviously this is some straight up comic book stuff you'd be talking. But I ain't gonna go into it. I ain't gonna go into it. It's just, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I make fun of it too, but then I found out about this person and what this person has been saying, and then so I kind of make fun of it less because it reminds me of what that person is actively saying right now, and it's like my eyes don't stop rolling for an hour after that, so I just got to hang back. Hey, Yano's here. Hey, what's going on, Yano? Yeah, so earlier, like, did a lot this stream. So we're talking about the intergalactic girl here. I'm calling her Stella because, of course, she's Stella. I'm talking about her and her build on the ship there that we had to take apart to make the MOCK work correctly. And the MOCK, especially for the folks who are just maybe showing up late, Stella, one of my all-time favorite movies is Trainspotting. And since addiction has been a topic with me lately, especially, I mean, for me, for cigarettes, for renting, it was heroin, right? But one of the things I've always wanted to recreate in Lego, if I had the mechanical know-how to do it, was the floor, you know, with the scene where he sinks into the carpet because he ODs. So I've been able to take pieces from the one thing and make this actually work. So we have the floor sinking part of that movie, which is it's totally random. I know, I understand. My mind works in strange and unorthodox ways, and the things I like are wide and varied and not normally mainstream. So there's that with it too. Oh man, y'all are crazy with the 5G microchips and shit. I mean, oh man, I said a word. I apologize for that word. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, getting things tidied up here. What are we going to work on next week? What are we going to see here next week? Who knows what we're going to see here? No, I'll tell you exactly what we're going to see here next week. I'm going to build a classic Batmobile on stream right here live so we can all see it and all enjoy the Adam West goodness. I'm also going to bring out my Adam West autograph because I kind of want to talk about that too, because Adam West is going to be in the house. Like, yeah, Trainspotting for real. Like, I mean, the journey, the personal journey that Renton goes through during the course of that film, for me, it's inspiring. But yes, we're going to be building the Batmobile next week, the classic one, coming up. Next Monday, same bat time, same bat station, 12 o'clock YouTube here. 12 o'clock for me on the East Coast, 9 a.m. for the West Coast folks. So yeah, Stella says hi. The Looney Tunes here. We're going to take a look quick as we're heading out. Just quick review because they're so cool and they're so cute. And Lola Bunny, I'm telling you, she's going to be the sleeper figure. There's no veracity at all to that statement. I'm just talking smack. And one of the easiest ones to find out, of course, is going to be Taz, because you got that round base in there. Good times. Get out there, squeeze your figures, sanitize your hands before and after. But find them, because I mean, at least for me, like Looney Tunes was such a big part of my childhood that yes, I have my Trainspotting poster up downstairs. Choose life. Choose life indeed. Yes, read the book too, because Irvin Welsh is an amazing writer, and there is a glossary in the back for the terms. And you're going to need it because Scottish slang is a little bit heavy. It's a little bit heavy. Alexander, yeah, if you get the chance, go ahead and watch it. I found them at Target. I found the Looney Tunes at Target. They had them out there as at least of last Friday. I got in there relatively early. Somebody hit them first, but I was the second. I know I was the second because you can see that the bags have crinkles where people try and suss things out. So these were crinkle free, but there were a couple missing. And I thought I had everything, or at least everything I wanted, including Bugs and Daffy, but I didn't get a Bugs and Daffy or a Tweety. So those are the ones I still need. Yeah, so I got to get them. I need Bugs and I need Daffy, and I need Daffy especially bad. And I'm going to show you one thing. I'm not going to say anything about it, but if you know Looney Tunes and you know Daffy Duck, and you see this right here, you know what I'm going to do when I get my hands on a Daffy Duck. So the sooner that can happen, the happier I will be, and the more balanced the universe overall. You know, that's just what we're heading for. But yeah, so thanks for listening to me rambling. I'm going to be working on my dots video tile transformation for my calendar. Going to take a look at that next week and see where that thing is at. Yes, I thought about ordering a pre-sorted set of the Looney Tunes figures, but I love the chase. I love the chase of the figures. Plus, there are a couple that I do need doubles of. I needed a double Wile E. Coyote because I've been putting him through the paces right now, and he may or may not lose his ears if I have an idea. But anyway, but yes. So thank you all, everybody, for stopping by. If my browser were showing me the right things, I try and look at the participants and thank everybody who's been here or who is here currently. But I love y'all. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. This is always so much fun for me. and I'm keeping it to 1 day a week just to try and make it, you know, a little bit more, you know. Plus, I mean, like the more I talk about doing stuff while I'm building, the less building I can actually do. So it's better to have like a little stop. Better to have a little stop and then catch back up on it, because I mean, with me, like my head is all over the place. Plus this room, keeping it in order, it gets insane. It gets insane, and there's no way I could do this on a daily basis. I'd be tripping over myself in the emergency room within a week. But yeah, thanks, and oh yeah, thanks, Anna, the Wily and Roadrunner stuff. I've wanted to do for so long. Ever since I heard that these figures were coming out, I was just like, yes. And then everything just started playing back in my mind. Plus, you get the if you have HBO Max, you can watch all the old Looney Tunes episodes. Brilliant. Twice a week. We'll talk about twice a week. We'll talk about twice a week. We'll see what happened in the coming days here. But yeah. Like the stream if you like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't. I guess there's a notification bell too. So if that's your thing, ring that bell. But yeah, thanks everybody for checking it out. And I mean, this is always fun. This is always so crazy. And sometimes it's a success, sometimes it's not a success. Today was a success. So, you know, chalk one up for the winning team. All right. Peace, y'all. Thanks so much for stopping by again. And get out there and get those Looney Tunes before everybody else finds the ones that you're looking for. Or else you might have to wait for a month or more. That's all, folks.